Shri Mataji has just very clearly said that we should stop worrying about the planes. Everything is arranged, everything is done, there is nothing to worry about tickets, nothing to worry about the planes. Please stop worrying, it really hurts Shri Mataji. Shri Mataji just said that it will hurt her when we think and keep on worrying about our planes. Everything is arranged, nothing to worry.
The Sahajogis should not fall to such a level of mundane type of people. After all, what is going to happen to you? I would say those who have been worrying and all that should go into great meditation and understand that you are insulting yourself. You are saints. Why should you worry about what plane you are going to get, what you are not going to get? Shows that your level is very low. Definitely. All those who have worried. You have come here under my protection, and I will go back under my protection. I got so sick this morning that I was thinking we will not have any pujas. You must know that you are all part and parcel of my being. I have put you in my body and you have to behave yourself. So on such an auspicious day, when we have all come here to do this special puja, I would say this should be called as a Mahalakshmi Puja because it's something to do with the industry of this country and of the whole world. Unless and until all the human ventures are connected with God, they cannot get their perfect stage and their status. That's why we have problems now in the West, supposed to be very clever people, very smart, very well equipped, well educated. We are having recessions and things because they have no balance. They don't know that there is God's power which works on them. And when you neglect that, this is what happens to you. Now for any venture that we do of this kind, first of all, we have to use a lot of material from the Mother Earth. But if it is taken for a proper purpose, for constructive things, and for helping others, with a balance, the Mother Earth can think. She can produce more and more all this she has produced before. She can produce for people who are sensible, who are in tune with God, not just making money for themselves or for their own purpose, but are thinking in totality, thinking as to what we can achieve by doing this. And that is how an industry can grow. I've seen in Japan so much industry has grown, but no spirituality. They are not at all happy people. The children are suffering, families are suffering. Money cannot get the total well-being of a human being. So a balance has to be drawn. Especially in our country, thank God, we didn't have such a fast industrialization. And that's why we are saved of lots of problems that the Western people are suffering, about which the Indians are not aware. They think you are all living in a very comfortable life there. industry has to go hand in hand with the handicrafts. And industrialists have to also look after the artists. Because otherwise, who will look after them? How will they bring forth the balance between the art and the industry? An art is such a soothing thing for these hard-working people. They work the whole day. Then there is some sort of a music, art, to console them, to give them peace, to relax them, and a balance. So I would say that all industries must take to some artistic ventures also, or they should also produce things. After I was telling Rajesh many a times that you should try to produce something artistic out of the steel scrap that is left over. Will be a good idea. They have tried something now. But industry should not be looked down upon as it is looked down upon in our country. I mean, as if industrialists are the greatest thieves and all the politicians are saints in this country. It's the other way around, I think. It should be treated with respect and should be understood. That's very important. And the industrialists, if they become also enlightened, they can do a lot, not only to their own country, but also to the people whom they are looking after. So in the Mahalakshmi principle, Mahalakshmi has various mudras. One of the mudra is that she puts her right hand like this. Now this right hand is to give protection to people who are under the protection or under the service of some rich man or the industrialist, we can call it. In India, if you call somebody a rich man, it's like abusing him. I mean, nobody likes it. Because the rich are always shown to be the worst people, which is not so. In my own experience, it's not so. If there's a poor man also, he could be terrible. We have had very bad experiences now in Ganpatipura of very poor people, how they behaved in a very funny manner, supposed to be poor. So it should be a proper balance. It should be brought to a proper balance between the understanding of the poor and the rich and the rich and the poor. After some time you will find that people will not consider poverty or riches as so important. But the richness of the spirit will become very important. That is what is going to be the Sahaja nations, where the richness of the heart, the spirituality, oneness with the divine will become the greatest boon for everyone. But still we are struggling to be on that state. Many are, and still we go into materialistic tantrums or some sort of a stupid worrying fall. All these must be carefully watched. If you can keep this chariot of new progress progressing faster, we are going to create a new world of complete harmony, complete peace, joy and love. But for that you are the ones who have to do it. I cannot do it. If I could have done it, I would not have asked you to join Sahaja. It's like a horses and the chariot. Horses are to be driven. Charioteer doesn't drive the chariot. In the same way, you must understand your responsibility that this is the greatest work we are doing. It's not only the industry or the labor and the capital I'm talking about, but I'm talking about the totality of well-being. Of course, all this is a part and parcel of that, no doubt. But the balance should be with the totality. So we have to think of a total well-being. Once we start thinking of the total well-being, then first thing that should come to us, are we capable of bringing up that total well-being? Are we? Have we got the total well-being within ourselves or not? Have we? We are still worried if the plane is coming or not. I mean, we are so mundane, so little, so small. With one bandhan, you can control any plane, any atmosphere, and here you are, still worried about things which are absolutely under your control. So this totality has to be thought over. What is this totality that Mother is talking about? In this totality, a world has to be created of people, by the people, who have no fear. This fear has to be. Behind all this nonsensical nervousness is fear. So for that, what she does is to give Abhaydan. Under her protection, you are beyond fear. You are protected. But if you don't want to believe in yourself and you don't believe into her protection, then nobody can help. Because everything is mythical for you. In every venture that we take up, we should not have any fear, because God is with you, is a fact, is the truth. You just try. But when you try through your ego, you fall into the trap of fear. I have seen egoistical people are the most frightened people and panicked, because they panic others and so they think they can be panicked one day. When the English were here, first of all, in England, India, we were all frightened of them. Now, I see that in England, every English family is frightened of others. They'll only open a chink of the door to see who is there and shut it. They're so frightened. I'm surprised they are the same English who ruled us here. And we were so peevish before them. And now they are the ones who are frightened of us. Because when a person who is egoistical tries to dominate others, he sees himself in the mirror and thinks that the other person will dominate. That's how this fear creeps into our minds, and we start getting all kinds of these stupid tantrums out of this mythical fear. The fear is created by our ego. A person who has no ego, he'll have no fear, because he has not harmed anyone. Why should you have any fear? And such a man or such a woman will be looked after by God, because God takes over. When you surrender your ego to God, He takes over. But those who have ego, He says, all right, go ahead. Use your ego, try to protect yourself, cut your throat. That's what it is. So when I talk of total benevolence, I am talking about your own total benevolence. So first is the fear, which should go out of your mind completely if you believe in the Almighty God. We'll say, you are Almighty God, you are Almighty this thing. It's all lip service. If you believe that God is Almighty and you are connected with God, then why should you have any fear of anything? But when we say don't have fear, another extreme comes up. We don't have fear, we can do what we like, we can perform everything ourselves, we need not tell anyone. You have to tell God whatever you are doing. You have to take permission, you have to inform in His darbar, in His court, that, sir, we are thinking of doing such and such. But you think you are God? You are not. And that's why the another part of non-fear is this kind of an arbitrary behavior, which is very dangerous for Sahaja Yoga, for yourself, or for everybody else. The second fear, I have, is that if I tell you anything, 99% of you understand is for your benevolence, is for your good. But there is 1% of people who can just react because they have too much ego and they won't take it because they don't think of their own benevolence. They don't understand that if I am telling them anything, it is just to give them completeness, totality. But on the contrary, they take a very wrong attitude. This is another nonsense.